What's up, guys? I have an interesting video for you today. I have some Scalding Tarns here, and which one's fake? They all look really good. They look really, really good, actually. By the eye, it's hard to tell. On camera, it might be a little bit difficult to see, but is it this one? I don't know. The backs look good. One of them's fake, though. Actually, one of them's real. The other two are fake. Maybe you can see it better now. Anyways, I'm going to show you a way that I look for fake cards. And by eye, if it's a good fake, it's pretty hard to find. And these, to be honest, would pass pretty well if you just played them. No one would know. I found out, actually, because I was trying to sell them to Card Kingdom, and they came back as they couldn't verify their authenticity. So I want to go through how I have to now look at more expensive cards when I'm looking at them to make sure that they are legit. So it turns out this is the real one. These two are fake, and there's some subtle cues. This one's a richer color. Some of the things you can tell about it maybe look a little crisper, but this doesn't look that bad. Looks all right. On the back, you can tell the card quality feels quite good. Doesn't feel off. The only difference in the back is these two have some off coloring on the ring. It's a little purple, too purplish, and the coloring on this side here is a little bit darker. On these guys, a little bit off color. There's probably some other things I'm missing, but that's the first cue. Also, you can see the Deckmaster symbols are a little bit different color. But anyways, I want to show you another way, a much more surefire way to really get into it and look at the math behind it so that we know that we're not getting ripped off. I'll have more about that in a second. Let's move over to the computer, and I took pictures of these guys with a microscope, a cheap little microscopic camera like these guys. You can get them on eBay for nothing. I don't know, $20 or something like that. And it gives you a 40x magnification, but you'll be able to see a lot more on the card. And then we do a little image processing, and you'll see how the print patterns, although look fairly similar by eye, are not similar, and the math will pick it up, and you'll know for sure. So here we have the fake Scalding Tarn and the real Scalding Tarn on under magnification, 40x. And as you can already see, there's some significant differences. Clearly in the real one, the print is much sharper on the black lines here. You don't see this mottled edging, which you don't have here. It's very clean, and you don't have as much bleed of the colors through it. Also, the dot pattern is slightly different, although it's not that easy to tell that it's radically different. You still have these double dot parenthetical pattern, but it is slightly different. And the way the dots line up, it's hard to see what it really looks like. So what I've done is take these images and run them through a Fourier transform. And here you have what that looks like mathematically, so to speak, when we transform this image using Fourier transform. And you get this image pattern that you can then recreate this image back if you want to. But you can see that it has some very distinct lines and patterning versus, let's take a look now. You can see these this large white lines crossing. You see this kind of star pattern. Now if we do that on the real image, on the real Scalding, you'll see a pretty different image pattern emerge on the transform. You see multiple horizontal lines coming across here. We don't see just the bright white line. And the internal patterning is also very different. Let me just flick back and forth so you can see the difference. So there's the fake, and again the big bright lines, not quite the same star pattern. The real, fake. We can do this over and over again, but you can really see that there's some significant differences between those two images. Whether you get it by eye, obviously we got that part of it by eye. But you know, as these prints get better and better, as the fakes get better and better, you know, this type of challenge might be met, and we'll have to rely further on the dot analysis and other types of indicators on the card. So this is just a quick way to verify whether or not your card is real or fake. Another way, obviously, there's the field test, the flick test, weighting it, looking for edging, cuts, markers, print, you know, different types of print, hologram, holographic sticker overlays that are off. So there's other ways, and Rudy at Alpha, he's done a bunch of videos on fakes, and you know, those are all good. You should watch those. Those will help you as well. Obviously, coloring. You know, your eye's pretty sensitive, but as they get better and better, and they will, we'll have to rely more and more on other types of techniques to visualize the material and understand how good the fake is or how bad it is. You know, by eye, the ones I have were okay. Definitely passable in the sleeve. You would never know. But now you can see that, you know, it's not that easy to trick the computer. Pretty big differences. So I hope that helps. The one downside of this technique, one of the downsides of this technique, is you do need a legit card to compare them to. But you know, I did this earlier. I'm not going to show it, but I did it with just a regular Zendikar card from that set, and it still came up with the same. I just kind of took a similar zone and looked at it, and it was different. So you can get away with that as well. But having the real card there is a big help. But you know, if you're going to spend a lot of money on new cards from someone or on eBay or anything else, it is worth checking out. Anyways, hope that helps. Okay, well, I hope everyone learned from that, and maybe you could use that in your own collection to avoid scams and other things. This won't work on reback cards because those are legitimate cards, but it will work on printed cards or people who are trying to print phony cards on real stock or on very similar stock. So hopefully that helps you guys, and talk to you later.